Trust me when I say, if you think there's a reason why you can't do something, you can.
I keep getting the image of her running through a field with the tall grass, enjoying the sunshine, just frolicking.
Start listening to your own guides. Start listening to the signs.
The only thing that makes you jealous, fearful, and angry is your perception upon the situation.
Hey everybody, it's me. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Well, you guys aren't gonna believe this. I looked and I looked and I looked, and guess who I found? Guess who I found?
I'm back this week.
This week. Hey, you were gone. I took you totally off the screen. I sent you a private message. I'm gonna surprise everybody with you. Blah blah blah. And then there was a chair, and I'm like, he has no clue what I'm doing. He has no clue.
I read your. I just walked away for a second. I read the comment.
Earlier, Tim,
There's
two people. Wow. I know, isn't it incredible? It is so much better with me and Mike than just me.
I feel like every week my face gets more and more red.
I think it does, but you know that just proves that you're not cheating on me with another show. You're actually working.
That's true. It's nonstop. I'll tell you what, 3 kids, a wife, and a house, and a 40-hour-a-week job. I don't even know when I get time to relax.
I know. I get that. Me and Mike were just talking. Sorry, we're late, guys. Me and Mike were talking. We don't lie, guys. I know. We don't lie, guys. When we say we only talk this 1 hour a week, that's it. Me and Mike, as well as our chemistry is, I mean, I swear if we lived next door each other, we'd probably be living. I mean, him and his family be at my house, I'd be at his house, just because that friendship chemistry is so awesome. You know what I mean? But
I mean, you're right. Unless there's something that comes up like personal, and majority of the time it's me having questions for you.
It happens.
But
you know?
I'll message you. But other than that, we don't talk.
We don't. So we get that couple of minutes, and it was like we hadn't talked to each other a month. So I'm like, oh my God, I got Mike, you know? So I was like, hey, Dialect, hey, Courtney, and oh my gosh, Keith, everybody. So it was just like, you know what? Dialect Run is with Jessica on a Monday night show. And oh my God, if you ever get a chance to tune in, they do readings, Mike, you're going to be blown away by them. But we're just Dialect and Jessica. They do, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the show, but it's 6 p.m. I believe it's 6 p.m. Monday nights. They're phenomenal. It's Ancient Healing, I think. Oh my God. I'm probably wrong, Dialect. Let me know. And if I'm pronouncing your name right, let me know, dear. But they do reads, and they're freaking amazing. They're amazing. So accent, yep. Accent, I don't know. I screw this up all the time, guys. But no, me and Mike were just talking ahead of time, and guess what? He just asked me, guys, do you understand? Have you been feeling the energy of the day? And I said, man, I've been feeling it for over a week, and I'm over it. I'm over this energy. I'm over this.
It's at its peak today for the next, 4 days?
Yes. I don't think it's done until the 12th, which is Saturday.
Yes.
It is crazy. So, Mike, I'm going to tell you, and I don't know, I didn't talk about this at all on Monday on yesterday's show. I haven't talked. I mean, it's on Facebook. It's all over Facebook. They actually took a video of me, but last week I did a blind, medium blind investigation with Expedition Entity, and you know who they are, Larry and Dan, and they have Paige in now, and their newest member Sierra wasn't there, but it was just the 4 of us that went up, and they took me to Bad Axe, Wisconsin, and all I knew is I was going to Bad Axe. That was it. The only thing I looked up for Bad Axe was how long is it going to take me to get there, to see if I wanted to drive or they drive it. It was a 3-hour trip. I'm like, you guys drive, we're good. And that's all I knew. And I was going in literally, I mean, we literally stopped outside the town at one of those like historical markers, and I seen the marker here, and I walked over here because I didn't want to know anything while they set up equipment to do a lot of videoing of it, because it's what they do. I didn't even know if we were going to video or not. I really was clueless. And I started getting like, oh, wow, yeah. And Paige is amazing. She's a historian. I said, Paige, I'm getting this as this. I don't want to get this yet. I feel like it's premature. And she's like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, let's talk about this, that, and the other. So we started talking about different things in my life as I'm seeing like people in my head in the whole 10 yards, which was really cool. And then we got in the car and we started driving. And literally, I mean, in my head, I'm hearing this is a massacre, and I know it's Native American, and just boom, 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 the whole series. It turns out it was the anniversary of this Black Hawk Indian massacre. It was where they learned President Andrew Jackson literally wiped out the rest of the tribe, well, most of the rest of the tribe. So that part was really cool. I mean, just to go in blind and get so much information and talk to what was known as Chief Black Hawk Sparrow. I'm not sure, but he wasn't a chief, and he
Jack Sparrow,
pretty much, you know, with attitude. And anyway, the investigation was awesome. The mediumship was awesome. The history, all of it was awesome. And we were done. I closed down the whole 10 yards, and we're going to drive to a different location, and I was going to reopen there. Well, we went back to the original mile marker that I didn't get to see, took pictures with it, and then we went to another marker. And it was so fun. It was so strange because that morning, and I told Paige this, I woke up and I felt like I needed to wear a really long dress from like the time period of like 400, 500, 600 years ago. And she's like, you know, I wanted to wear a really long skirt too. What's up? I said, I don't know, but I kept saying I'm not going to wear this long skirt. And we were sitting there, even on the investigation side, I kept going, I'm in two different timelines. I got the massacre here, but I got another timeline that's really old. I got this woman here, and she's blah, blah, blah. And she's like, that is so cool. She goes, but I didn't research that, so I can't help you. And I said, that's fine. So on this last marker, I shit you not, they talk about DeSoto, the town DeSoto, and how it's actually built over Indian burial ground. Well, then there's another marker that talks about this woman from the 1600s. And I went, oh, found it. And literally, apparently I sucked in a spirit. It didn't get jumped. I sucked it in. And they got video of me on the side of the road going, holding on for dear life because I couldn't stand. I was flipping dizzy. I threw up. I'm not kidding you, Mike, for 5 hours. 5 hours.
Damn.
And I've had gastric bypass, so I don't throw up at all, let alone throw up for 5 hours, because my whole world was spinning like I was on one of them, rides that go flying, and the floor drives out.
Yeah.
And like I was on it 5 times without ever getting off. I mean, it was like crazy. I actually went to the emergency room after I got home, and they called a stroke code on me because they were afraid I was having a stroke. That's how bad I was. It took, within 2 days, most of the spinning was gone. I got a hold of Dan, and I said, dude, and I got a hold of another friend, and the friend's like, that didn't know anything about it. And she tells me straight up, she goes like, DeEtte, you got something inside of you. I'm like, what? And she's like, she did the reading. She goes, I see you sucking in like in surprise, and whatever it is, you sucked him right in. And I'm like, I didn't know you could do that. Really? What? Wow. But Dan crossed her over, and she peacefully went. She'd been lost. She was just lost. But that's happened in this energy shit of the last week. After a friend gets a hold of me last Monday and says, DeEtte, I got a message for you. The next week plus, through the hell, I want to call it Hell's Gate, not Lion's Gate. They're showing me they're going to open up your crown chakra. They're going to do all this stuff, and the energy for you is going to be crazy.
Wow.
I'm done.
And then I'm just enjoying it. Oh. Not even like spirit, not even like paranormal wise, but like spiritually. It's a strengthening energy, a powerful feeling type of energy. And I don't know, that's really how I'm really seeing it.
You're like,
I don't have any cool stories. I didn't suck anybody.
Let's just switch.
Suck in. Wow, that was coming out totally wrong.
Sucked in.
I didn't suck in anybody. Ever.
Mike, if they didn't have video evidence of it, and a reading from somebody that had absolutely no clue of anything at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, this is what's really cool is because Saturday I was at a store doing readings. It's a place I go back to do readings at. And I'm talking, a lot, the whole first half of the day was all mediumship. And I'm talking to somebody's loved one. And out of nowhere, I start talking about the lady in my head and everything about it. And then the middle of my back hurt. And I heard like a pop. And then I felt like I drank 5 or 6 energy drinks all at once. And I was like,
you said this was last week?
That was last. The event actually happened on Wednesday. Dan released the spirit for me on Saturday. And all of a sudden, I had all this clarity. And I got
time
home.
Was that on Saturday when he cleared it? When he cleared it?
A Saturday, gosh,
was it at night?
No, it was during the day. It was during the day.
Because it's really weird. Because Saturday night, I was in my backyard and I actually texted, Ashley Moreno.
Yeah.
I texted her because for some strange, I was in my backyard, and I don't know if anybody else is seeing these lately, but I have been seeing a lot of shadow figures.
Okay.
Like just black figures darting.
Yeah.
I saw one Saturday night run across the backyard. And for some reason, that Ashley just came to mind. So I texted her to see how she was doing. She said she's fine.
Yeah.
So that's ironic.
It was probably mine. Yeah. Matter of fact, we can ask Andrea because Andrea was, I didn't realize it was Andrea. Andrea on here. She must have been, I couldn't remember Andrea who I was talking to. So I was doing a reading for Andrea at the store. Had to after my appointment. So if it was Andrea, was it you that I was doing the reading for when I started talking about her? Anyway, it might have been Andrea or it might have been somebody else, but yeah, it was that. And it was like, I got off the, I got done with the day. Yep. She said it was hers. I got done with the day and, I literally looked at my phone and Dan goes, how are you feeling? I tried to clear her from a distance and it went, well, it worked. She's gone. And this is what happened. So this is shit you can't make up, can you?
I've never heard of that before.
I have. Scotty Rourke got a hold of me afterwards, over this. You know who Scotty is, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Scotty, him and I are, amazing friends. I love the hell out of him. He got a hold of me a few days afterwards after I was feeling well. And he goes, okay, now we have to work with your boundaries. We have to work with your team. He says that happened to me in the very beginning and it never happened again. And I'm like, I'm never going through this twice. And he's like, not after the first time you won't. He goes, but it happened to him. And I'm like, now that I knew it happened to him, I knew I wasn't crazy.
Wow.
So, yeah. So where are you?
4 more days.
Do you want me to go on one of your investigations with you? Mike's like, no.
I mean, we don't have anything until September.
I know, but I'm coming to give you hugs anyway, even though I'm not investigating with you. I'm coming for hugs. You
don't know the whole story or the whole idea yet.
I don't know shit, but I know you're going to be here.
I don't even know what's going on yet.
You're going to be half an hour away from me. And if you think I'm not showing up to say, oh my God, it's Mike in person and Ashley and I haven't seen Melody in how long? You know what I mean? I'm telling you.
Melody's a sweetheart. I'm excited to work with her. We had the Hinsdale camping trip last weekend.
Yeah.
Other than the weather, it was phenomenal. It was fun.
Yeah.
We survived. At the end of it, we were calling it, we survived the windstorm of Hinsdale 2023. I thought everybody's tents were going to blow away. It was, two 10 by 10 tents blew away and broke.
Right.
Everybody's tents, just some of them flooded. They ended up having to go in the house and, but it was fun. We had a good time. And,
well, I don't know who the Facebook user is, but they just said it was a great time. Loved it. Not sure who that is.
But it was, we, working with Melody for the first time since originally Beyond the Dimensions, we filmed S.K. Pierce Mansion, but we never released it.
Oh, it's Tom Donahue. Okay.
Oh, hey, Tom. Yeah, he was the winner of our contest.
Oh, I love it.
But we, working with her for the first time and our experiment mode.
Yeah.
It was just phenomenal. Some of the things that we captured, especially on Saturday night.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I loved it. Did Diana show up there or no? Because I seen you tag her, but I didn't see her in any of the pictures.
No, Melody brought her dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
That's
Diana's
what
dogs.
it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to meet Spencer. Now I'm really jealous.
I didn't get to meet Spencer.
You didn't get to meet
I met Melody's dog, Chloe.
Oh, Melody's dog. Okay.
She's a sweet dog, very sweet. I've not met Spencer.
I'm so jealous. I'm telling you, I cannot wait to see all of you guys in person. And I'm gonna just show up and hug y'all, and you're gonna be like, "Who's this crazy woman?" You're
You're going to be at Rock Island Paracon too, aren't you? Or...
No. Oh no.
I get to meet Deidre there.
You do, and no, it sucks because they got a hold of me right after they. Well, I presume it's right after they schedule it. And they asked me to be part of it, and that's actually my grandson's 4th birthday. And I'm sorry, I'm not missing his birthday, let alone the birthday weekend. And I'm feeling so. And part of me is just like, can't we just go to Rock Island? We'll throw a birthday party, and
then there's me. Like before my daughter was born. It was the date of her birth. I texted my wife. I was like, how mad would you be if I had missed my daughter's birth? And she goes, I would be so mad. Why? I was like, because Ozzy's going to be in town. So I was like, I've seen childbirth, but I haven't seen Ozzy yet. She'll forgive me as she gets older. But he ended up canceling, so I didn't go see Ozzy. I got to see another childbirth.
There you go. Every one of them is special. Every one of them is special.
Especially your only little girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and she's pretty. It's been so long since we've talked. Her arm healed okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
Yep.
I love it. I figured by now it was healed and she's like doing cartwheels, but I still had to ask because it's been so well. Oh, something whispered into the microphone while y'all were both talking about I know I don't have anything with me anymore. How about you, Mike?
With this area out here, you never know.
Right?
I'm cutting down on it, actually. I'm starting to sell some of my stuff. And
I seen that.
Just kind of, it's just, I mean, I love the paranormal. I love collecting stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, what purpose is it serving? It's just sitting in a room, and I clean it more than I do anything inside the house. So like It takes so much time. But
well, and that's just if it's not serving you anymore. It's like it's time to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So Avalon, that might just be some object that is about to leave that's telling him don't leave.
I already did get one. I got rid of one spirit already.
Yeah.
Got rid of one already.
Oh boy. Well, there you go.
But there you go. Yeah, I sold it to a friend and she's like, yep, I'm already hearing her running around and all sorts of stuff.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. So many people, I'll tell you what, any fear I had over the paranormal now is gone after last week. So
I don't think there's anything that can scare you now.
No, not at all. I think I'm like, yep, I'm going to learn boundaries better and I'm not afraid anymore. So that's okay. That's okay. So when are we going to see? Well, you guys did an episode at Hinsdale, right? Or is it just an investigation?
Which one? The one that's on Paraflix now?
Is that the one did you already put it up?
We didn't film at Hinsdale.
Oh, okay. I thought you filmed it.
No, it was just an event. No. We did some small filming, like a little bit of the experiments, but nothing major. When we do events like that, especially as a team, I don't want it to feel like work.
Right.
I actually want to go and spend time with people and relax.
Oh, that's
so
awesome. I love that. I love that. Yep. I truly, truly love that,
Well, when you're filming, you go to all these locations and you don't even actually have the time to enjoy it. It's go, film, and you've done it,
Oh, yeah. I mean, the one time I've worked with Melody, I mean, we're at this awesome place and it's like, because I'm the medium there, when everybody else is doing the tour, I'm not like going into the buildings. I'm not doing any of that. I'm like outside the building going, oh, look at the sun, the stars, whatever. And I don't get to hear about the history. And then literally you don't get to enjoy any of it. You're just there to work. And then you're hoping afterwards you do, but oh, wait a second, I have to get on a plane, get home. So it's like, yeah, it's just a whirlwind and I have no clue what happened. I don't like
doing that a lot. We like even Mansfield when we filmed OSR, thankfully I ended up getting to go back to actually enjoy it. But big buildings like that, they're so expensive. You only get into once.
Right.
So it's like, you don't even get to enjoy it.
Right. And that's not fun. You know what I mean? You gotta have fun.
So I do when we do events, I try my best not to make it feel like work,
right.
Come enjoy it, hang out, like we had plans of filming some B-roll and some intros and doing some cool stuff for promo, but we got there and I saw how much fun Matrix was having, how much fun I was, just doing everything, running around. And I was just like, you know what? I don't even care about the plans we had. We all need this break to hang out as the team. Right. Ashley, I'm sure you saw the pictures. She showed up.
I've seen those. I was like, that is so awesome. You gave her a great bod, I'm telling you.
But yeah, sometimes in this field, we don't really get to enjoy the actual locations too much. So I do my best for the team to, give them that opportunity.
Well, it's funny because I keep saying one day, I want to organize a pajama party at Broadhead Manor.
That would be fun. Bring sleeping bags.
Because the building is huge.
Can we do that?
Why not?
Why not?
I've been saying I want to do it. I just want to have a pajama party. You know what I mean? And just camp out, sleep out, let the ghosts tell their stories. You know what I mean? And just have fun, where you're just.
Now that you said that live, every location is going to start that tomorrow.
Probably, but seriously,
pajama party at Wildwood Sanitarium.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, it is because of that fact that teams get together, and it's like my biggest thing. And I've been in this field a very short amount of time compared to anybody. And although I see teams work together or they're friendly, and they might be friends here and there, but none of them just let their hair down and say, "Let's get together and have a pajama party," and just.
And that's what I wanted the camping to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's actually, it's funny you mentioned that because, you and I research John Griffin and Ashley's part of it.
Right.
We do a lot of work with them constantly. Like they're very good friends of mine.
Yeah.
And we're actually planning a Wildwood trip because we're always doing Wildwood investigating and hanging out. So we're actually planning a weekend where all of us get together. We just grill, we hang out, we have a good time. If we plan on investigating, we investigate. If not, we don't. Just kind of getting that friendly time together. Because you're right, we don't. Every time everybody's together, it's work.
Right. And see, my idea is actually to make it work and have like every team have cameras from different angles, but the cameras are just watching. So you're all in pajamas, you're getting up to the bathroom, nothing's organized. You might investigate, you might not. You're going to grill out. Everybody's talking about their adventures and having fun and the laughter and the stories. So it's like the ghost stories inside of a ghost building. And sometimes the ghosts are listening, that's on Burl Manor. That's Hunsdale. Holy crap. We thought we had it bad. What the hell is going on? You know what I mean? So you're telling ghost stories to the ghosts, but every team's got their own laughter and their own fun and their own. Holy shit, that happened there. That didn't happen when you were there, yeah. But actually filming it, now throw that up, you know what I mean? And just, or do it as a live, whatever. Just have fun. Come here, baby. She wants to come and say hi. She doesn't feel the energy yet, so she knows I'm working.
If you ask why there is a rope in my hand.
I mean, I wasn't really going to ask that, but since you mentioned it.
She's been hanging the unicorn all day.
Yes, I don't lose her.
Okay. Well, I'm still working, believe it or not.
I'm sorry.
It is
And
so.
I'll see you at dinner.
I'll see you at dinner. It's so funny because she knows my energy has not gone up to do readings yet, so she knew it was fine to walk through the door. She is getting.
I'm actually okay. People aren't asking for readings.
You know what? I think we've had one person, honestly,
okay.
one person. That's it. That has said, well, maybe.
I like the
Lori,
catching
say
up.
hi, baby girl. Huh?
I like the catching up with everybody. I
Yeah.
like, it's like we just said, feel like everything is work.
It does.
Like even when you get on a plane, like Vegas Paraconference, it's like I was so excited. I'm like, I'm going to Vegas. Yeah, it was work.
Yeah.
I mean, we had fun. We had our times of fun, but
right.
But again, even when we're flying and traveling, it's not all.
It's not. I mean, everybody here, I mean, we've been in the Lionsgate, and people don't realize Lionsgate actually started in July. Okay. July 24th or 28th, something like that, through this Saturday. Through the Saturdays at Energy. You know what I mean? And honestly, this energy is really another, from what I understand. Oh my God, I can't even get things started. I have a couple of people have asked for a reading. Thank you, Courtney, the 28th. This is really about the energy thinning and about manifesting and things being able to happen right now. And it's so funny. Oh, son of a bitch. Of course. Now that I think about it, as I said that, I've been like, why the heck am I being affected the way I've been affecting? Well, it wasn't but about a month ago. I literally went, I wish Spirit would like amp up the abilities a little bit. There you go.
There's have you ever heard of Christina Lopes? She's a coach, spiritual teacher, healer.
No.
Look her up on YouTube. She released a video today about how to meditate using the Lionsgate.
Really?
It's no pun intended. It's an eye-opening meditation. Your eyes stay open.
It doesn't really?
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
I'm going to tonight.
She goes through like the history of it a little bit, kind of what it is. It's the suns lining up and all of that,
and that's exactly what it is. It's like all this stuff. I mean, because I'm awful. You would never want me as a historian for anything because I don't pay enough attention. You know what I mean?
Me neither, but I love history.
Right. Well, I'm really weird. I want somebody to tell me about history. I don't want to research it myself. I'm lazy. I'll admit it. I'm lazy. I seriously.
No wonder you're a psychic.
I'm telling you.
Life is about the journey. You're just getting all the answers for yourself. That's not fair.
And that's just it. And I've actually thought about that, Mike, more recently than you like to hear, because literally I'm. This last week I was in the presence of literally a historian that was a social studies history teacher, Dan, that really researches the history. After we're done there, and in the midst of my throwing up, I'm listening to them talk about the history. And all I could think was, oh, that just sounds like too much work. I'd rather just show up and talk to the dead guy, because literally I had the chief there and I had, Andrew Jackson there. It's like, I'd rather just talk to him than to look in a book.
I find that too. I find that awesome too. But my, I would say my psychic abilities, I don't have that. I know I have them, but I don't focus on them. I guess my thing with that is, I'm not able to actually tell whether or not I'm actually talking to Andrew Jackson but that is half the reason I got into this field, is I do love the what if I am, talking to somebody.
Well, you know what? And I can't say I always do either, because like this last week when I was there, I was talking to the Indian chief. Well, he was the medicine man, but they considered him the chief, or people looked at him as if he was the chief. And it was so funny because I was sitting there, we're talking to him. We were actually into the investigation part. And all of a sudden I looked at Dan and a page and I said, who's got the father? Who's the father? And they went, well, not our father. I said, I've got a father on the other side. I keep hearing them say the father. You know what I mean? And nobody could accept it. So I just let it go. And it wasn't until we were done with everything and Dan was talking about how this chief called President Andrew Jackson the Great White Father. And I went, we couldn't put 2 and 2 together 20 minutes ago. Yeah. So sometimes you just miss the opportunity, if somebody can't figure it out.
Yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at now. It's just, I was telling you backstage before the show, my wife's been getting real big into astrology. She's always been into astrology, but I think she's to the point where she sees everything that I'm doing and I have going on. And the one thing that I never really cared to learn was astrology. I did a little bit of research, a little bit of kind of just, if it's something I want to know, I'll research it, I'll learn it, but it's nothing that I'll go out of my way and be like, oh, I want to learn about north and south nodes. And look, I only learned about those words this week. I just wanted to sound smart. But
you're doing better than me. So
I had the only thing I really knew was you have your different astrology signs.
Right.
I knew that you have the one that you're born with and you have your soul sign.
Okay. That's more than I know.
The one that you're born with is the one that is the life that you need to get out of. If that makes sense.
It does.
To follow your soul sign.
Okay.
So I was born a Scorpio, and my Scorpio soul sign, North Node, technically I'm a Taurus.
Oh, okay.
So I should be following the life of a Taurus.
Well, you are kind of stubborn, aren't you?
I got the Scorpio. I got all of it in me, all of it. So she's trying to explain this to me, and I'm like, I just want to learn it. I want to understand it myself. I want to find the paths because I want to follow that intuition of that voice saying, this is the right thing to do. This is the wrong thing to do. I just want to find all that for myself. So
right. Well, I just sent you my chart. Go study. Whenever you have your time, study. You just looked at it and went, what the hell is that?
You'll see me next year.
It's part of your doctorate dissertation.
Oh, I'm fucked.
Well, there you go.
I haven't even been studying.
Neither have I. I have been, you know what? I wanted to say I was being so naughty, but I'm not. It's just that, summer is really hard. It's really, for me, summer hypes up. It gets a lot more busy, and it's not just, it's events and readings and rebranding and grandkids and everything. And it's just, I went, when school starts in a month, I'm going to get back to all my routines. I'm going to get that book written, the whole 10 yards.
That's I'm holding off for winter. I mean, to be honest, this last week, even 2 weeks, I can't tell you how many times I've had to tell myself to just stop thinking the way I have been.
Yeah.
I just keep asking myself, do I really want to go to school? What really is this going to do for me? Do I really want to do this? Is this what I want to do? And it's been constant.
Right.
And to the point where I've had days where I'm like, I just don't even care. I don't want to do this anymore. And then in the back of my head, that voice just keeps telling me, this is what you're going to school to stop doing. You need to keep going, keep going. This education is teaching you how to better your life and why to better your life. Don't go backwards. Keep going. And that's really what's been pushing me. But yeah,
that's what I look at it, because it was like a lot of the information they're giving me, I already know so far. It's going to get to a point where I'm not going to know. You know what I mean? But when I open it up and I look at it, it's what I needed that day or at that moment. And I'm like, wow.
I've been taking everything. I've been taking everything as a lesson that I know needs to be learned.
Yeah.
Which I know you want to get into the readings, but there was one theory I came up with that I've never heard anybody talk about, or maybe they have, but I wanted to get your opinion on this.
Okay.
So my wife and I were sitting on the couch the other day, and just this thought came to my mind. So, and they one of the things that you learn, and one of the things I'm starting to realize is, they say thoughts come to you. You actually don't think them. Every thought you have comes from spirit.
Right.
So I'm sitting there. I look at my wife and I'm like, you believe in reincarnation. You believe in karma. Do you believe that? Now I'm going to ask you this, Dan. Do you believe that the life that you live now is to pay back a karmic debt? Every life we live is karmic because we have to. Every life is a lesson we have to learn. Right.
Or experience. And
Right.
I'm going to tell you, I think that's a double-edged sword. If you really want to know. Because
be.
I do believe that we come into a life for the most part to experience something within this lifetime, whether it be love or hatred, or it's always so simple. Everybody thinks it's like, oh my God, a million lessons. Well, it is, but it's around a theme. Think about a themed birthday party. You know what I mean? And there's so many aspects to a birthday party, but you still keep the uniform theme or the superhero theme or whatever. So there's that. Do I believe in the karma with it? I do. I honestly do. And I think that, but the way I think that evolves in, say in, 3 lifetimes ago, I was a queen and I treated a certain servant horribly or a person horribly for most of their life. I just stomped them their whole life. I do believe in this lifetime that it's going to flip flop. And whether that's karma paying itself back or having a different understanding of something, you know what I mean? And until you get that understanding, it's going to stay with you. And I do believe that's a lot of times what karma is getting that understanding, you know what I mean? This full understanding of something. So I don't think karma is necessarily a payback. I don't think it's a punishment. I think it stays with you to understand something until you understand. And I'm going to say every aspect of a coin, because a coin has more than 2 sides. If you think about the aspects, it's got the heads, it's got the tails, it's got all the divots, the dips, the side, the edges have got, ridges. There's a lot of aspects to a coin, and there's a lot to understand. And I think that's what karma really is. And that's why I think it's happening. Like for myself, I will tell people karma to me is instant. It's instant. It's right back at me. So it's like, if I screw up with something, I know in my heart, if I don't stop and go, oh shit, you know what I mean? And try to figure it out right there within a very short amount of time, I'm going to have that situation come back and I'm on the opposite of it,
Right.
So that's how I do believe karma is.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the random thought that I had was, do you think it is possible that whoever, so like you were talking in your past life, the queen stomping somebody down, and then the next, karma knows no time, so it could be 5 lifetimes.
It could be
that the person five lifetimes later that did that to you was the same soul or energy that you did it to 5 lifetimes prior.
I do believe so.
Do you think it's a vicious cycle?
I don't think it's necessarily a vicious cycle, because I do believe on the other side, in spirit, I do believe that we're all, it's all unconditional love. It's all there. And that we're essentially volunteering to be there for somebody else's growth or somebody else's understanding. Right. So this is my thought. Okay. So in that lifetime, before me and the servant came into that lifetime, I'd look at him, she'd go, you know what? I want a lifetime where I'm stomped and I have nothing. I'm always trying to learn, always trying to grow. And I want to put tons of crap into my lifetime. And I'm going to look at it and go, I'll stomp you. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll put every obstacle. I'll be the most vicious bitch you've ever seen to make sure you get everything you want out of this lifetime. And she's going to look at me. She goes, you know what? And then I'll return the favor later. You know what I mean? So I think this contract is made way before you even come to go, you know what? Because I do believe on the other side,
soul contracts.
We're not looking at this as, viciousness as much as we're looking at this going, hey, I'll volunteer to help you. I'll volunteer for your growth, but I'm going to need the favor repaid. So I do believe a lot of times it's the same person coming back. You know what I mean? In a different aspect. I do believe that, a lot of times you can have major situations in history, you know what I mean, that happen, a huge populace. And I do believe that populace is going to come back another time to be the opposite of it. You know what I mean? As the whole group coming back, because again, they want to learn both aspects. They want to learn both sides of it, so that's my thought. Right, wrong, or
that's the same, I believe. I mean,
yeah,
there's really no right or wrong answer to any of it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I will tell you what, my ex, in this lifetime, and once you learn astrology and you see that chart, you'll understand what the hell I've done to myself. But my ex, I knew when we got together, we'd been together at least 9 lifetimes. And I knew he'd killed me in every one of them before this time. And when I left him, I looked at him, I said, you don't get me this one. This one, you don't get to kill me. Even though he tried to several times, one way or another, I went, not this one, sir. And I left. It was, we're done, but again, for myself, I think that part of my karma was me learning to stand up for myself, me learning to finally go,
you're breaking that.
I'm breaking a pattern. I finally learned something that I think I've put into a lot of lifetimes to learn. And when I've gone back to have a lot of hypnosis and regressions over the last couple of years, I found a lot of lifetimes I put myself in this subservient category, not seeing self-worth or hiding. So I'm not surprised that this is the lifetime I broke it. So
I'm same boat.
Yeah.
I just, sitting somewhere I never thought I would be in life.
Yeah. So I know everybody, we haven't done any readings and we're not going to do readings. I hope you're still getting a whole lot out of this conversation, because I'll tell you what, me and Mike have some great. Why don't we talk like every day? Could you imagine our conversations every day? They'd be insane. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but y'all kind of disappear into the background. And I look over and I'm reading the comments going, yeah. But me and Mike keep talking.
I don't. I have the certain people that I go to for things, but like I said, the last 2 weeks, I've just been like, what do I really want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gotten to the point where I feel like I've understood life enough to just not care really about anything. 2 years ago, I was half drunk, dragging my hungover ass to work in 100-degree weather, hating my life, to now I barely drink. I have a very close relationship with God after 20 some years of being an atheist, and it's like everything that I learned in this school and everything that I'm reading and I'm studying, it feels like I'm not learning, I'm remembering, I'm awakening. I was meant to be here to not learn this, but re-grasp it all and just teach and just work with people on it. And just, I see so much going around in the world today, like in politics and the music industry and everything. And so many people going, well, I don't believe in God because I can't see it. I'll believe it when I see it. But when you sit back and you look, the reason so many people believe in the devil is because you see it. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, just believe it and you'll see it.
Yeah.
Stop waiting. It's right there. Just accept, and that's
and that's probably why I believe in God. I see miracles all the time. And I think that's why I believe in God and to have such a strong faith, is because I do see a lot of the holy crap, you can't make this up, or holy crap, how did that happen? Like at the perfect timing that I needed it, or, the miraculous, whether you want to call it divine timing or miracles or whatever. There's too much of that in my world and always has been for me not to believe there's a God.
Oh, and it took me so many years to realize it. And the funny thing is, everything that we have learned, or that I have studied and learned in this university, is everything I've believed my entire life.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up, you know, middle class. We didn't have a lot of money, but I always said, you know, maybe it's because we were rich when we were in a different life, and now we just got to understand what it's like to not have money. And I was saying stuff like that at 6, 7 years old, and didn't even know, couldn't even tell you the name of any stars, but I still can't. I don't know why I use that analogy.
I love it.
But still, but you know, now I sit back and that's what I'm learning, and knowing that this does exist and it is real, and I've noticed I'm always one step ahead of what we're studying.
Yeah. Yep. That's just it. We stopped to read Courtney's girl was working.
We did.
I know, so we both went, what, Courtney, why don't you have your own show? Everybody tunes into Courtney. Like, we need a show, tunes into Courtney. There you go. Gas station, they gave me a floaty. I checked 2-store in the office at the campground, and on the way to the gas station last resort, the girl working there said, I have on in my truck. If you bring it back, I will narrow it to you. Borrow it to. Okay, thank you. I was like, narrow it. I don't know what narrow is. That's awesome, Courtney. I love that. I love that.
At the end of the day, you really just got to realize that life is life, and what happens, and that's really it.
You know, and I'm finding the simpler I try to make life.
You can't spend every second wondering what's going to happen next. You just got to let it happen.
And that's just it. You know, I literally wake up every morning and this is what goes through my head. What the hell day is it? Okay. What did I have to do?
That was mine and Dan's conversation yesterday.
Yeah. It's like, what do I have to do today? Okay. I got to do this reading and I have a show today. Okay. Other than that, I'm golden. Okay. There's 2 hours of my life. I have to be someplace and the rest is going to happen the way it's supposed to. You know?
That's all you can do. One of the things I've been doing actually, and I highly recommend this to everybody. Do some research on, I think we've talked about it before, weeds that are growing in your yard.
Oh, okay.
Do your research on what you have.
Mm-hmm.
I have this weed that grows in my yard. I have been taking it. I've been putting it on sandwiches, making tea out of it, putting it in our smoothies. Ironically, it is called self-heal.
Oh my gosh.
It is called self-heal. It was actually used as a medicine for people who were building houses when there were no hospitals, there were no doctors, there was no medicine. This is what they used. And it grows wild.
Really cool.
So we've been cutting it, drying it out, putting it in stuff. And I'll tell you what, I've had very little body aches, no headaches, and I'm in the sun all day.
Yeah. You're dehydrated the whole 10 yards.
It just, even my wife, she was having a sinus infection 2 days ago. No, yesterday. Normally her sinus infections last for days.
Right.
And yesterday she made it a tea out of this, cleared it right up overnight.
Wow. You know what's funny is I'm over here just shuffling cards just out of boredom because that's what I do sometimes. And right when you started to say it, I got to tell you about this weed thing. This is the card that I pulled.
Earth magic. It is.
I mean,
how can you use a weed killer, you know, on, you think about it, Roundup kills all the weeds that are very good for you.
Yeah, it does.
Dandelions, self-heal. I mean, it is called self-heal.
I am so going to look up what that is. I'm telling you.
It's probably all over your yard. It's got those little purple balls and stuff on it.
Oh my God. I sucked on those. They're sweet.
You would have to do research on the right one. There's 2 different kinds. There's one that looks like it and there's one that isn't.
Okay. I'm going to self-heal weed.
Hey, Courtney, plants can be weeds too.
Okay. That's not the one I thought it was. But
self-heal weed? Don't type that in.
I did self-help.
You're gonna get all CBD.
No, this is what I got.
Okay. Yep.
Is that the flower, the weed?
It doesn't look familiar.
Okay. Well, I put self-help weed, and that's the one that popped up. Where's your mind at, Mike?
I mean, I've smoked mugwort. If you really want me to be honest.
There you go. Well, self-heal herb actually comes in a bag too.
Why would you buy it? It grows free.
I don't know. I just seen it on Amazon. Everything's on Amazon. Didn't you know this? Everything is on Amazon. I'm trying to look. The one I come up with is
God gave us everything for free.
You
just got to take the time to grow it.
You got to just take the time to grow it. You talking about self-healing weeds or something else?
It's OG Kush.
OG Kush. OG Kush. I love it. The only self-healing weed I've got coming up is this one. You're going to have to take a picture of it and send it to me. Courtney, I've smoked a few pigs. I love it. I love it.
They end up kind of looking like this.
Okay.
Let me pop this up real quick.
It's so funny because the other day,
everybody can see it.
Yeah, that's what I just showed you.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's these.
That's the weed I don't see in my yard.
Really?
Rez is laughing at us. I showed one picture. He's like, nope, that's not it. He brings up the same one. This is it. This is why I don't argue with anybody, because it just doesn't serve me a purpose.
Courtney, I'm a hybrid guy.
I love it. I love it. But it's funny because the other day I was walking around the yard with my daughter's husband. We were talking about where we're going to do the garden next year, the whole 10 yards. And I picked this. I was all excited because I go in there. I picked up this weed and it's like, well, he's like, well, it's alfalfa. And I'm like, I don't know if it is or not. But when I was a kid, my parents would tell me you can't have sugar. I would go and grab these things and pick them as many as I could because they're purple and you pull them off and you chew on the white spots and they're super sweet. And I love it. And he's like, I ain't putting that in my mouth. I'm like, just put the shit in your mouth and chew on it. You'll like it. I used to eat weeds all the time when I was a kid.
Just for YouTube standards, the chat is talking about weed. We are not. We're talking about weeds.
Weeds. We are talking about self-healing. What is the technical term, just so YouTube doesn't get us, is Prunella vulgaris. We're talking about Prunella vulgaris, guys. Don't know what y'all are talking about. Courtney's like, it's herbs. Mm-hmm.
Herbs.
But oh my God, guys, we have to go. Linda Hopeless wants to start. So this has been amazing, guys. Thank you so much for sitting with us, listening to us, chatting with us, having a great time, because this has been the best. I loved it.
It's one of the better shows.
Yes, we'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.